Good afternoon, strangers. It's this guy again, and let's see. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've only been up for an hour. As if you've seen my previous video, I had a manic episode last night, and it kept me up until about 5 in the morning. My wife gave me, while I was having severe neck pain from a recent concussion and whiplash. And so she gave me a medicine that, helped with the pain as well as knocking me out. So I was finally able to get to sleep. Anyway, I said I was going to do a video. I don't remember what I said it was going to be about on that video, but what it's going to be about is I'm going to kind of start from the beginning. I'm not going to make this all long and drawn on. It's kind of going to be a quick overview of what I've dealt with in life and where I am today. So, the first, how should I say it? See, you'll find that many times when I'm in the middle of a sentence, I have to stop and think because words elude me anymore. I don't know why, but I gotta stop doing things with my hands and touching my face. So keep them down here. Anyway, what I remember first off, dealing with any sort of mental illness or whatever was about first grade. I started having I don't know if you could say panic attacks, but a lot of anxiety, very high anxiety. And it was about school. I was afraid of getting in trouble or not being liked or whatever it might have been. And it was so bad that my mom actually had to take me to the doctor, and they put me on medication for severe stomach pains. And so my anxiety basically I've had all my life as far as I can remember. And so I mean, it's something I'm very used to, but at the same time it's not something you can really get used to because it feels the same regardless of how long you've been having it, you know what I mean? It's still as difficult, especially when it gets to a state of panic. And so next thing I know, all the gap between that and when I was 13, I don't know in regards to any sort of emotional issues, but excuse my sniffling. When I was about 13, I believe I really started to develop depression. I had mild suicidal thoughts, and I started cutting my wrists with a snake. Yes, with a snake. Because those scales are sharp. Wait, they don't have scales. Yes, they do. Anyway, skin, snake skin. I'm dumb. Anyway, with a steak knife. Although it was no real attempt. I mean, they were scratches on my wrist, but I had that desire, and I was I don't know. I was very distraught and just saying, thinking that I want to die and I want this to work. I wanted to bleed more, but luckily that never happened. But as I got older and the depression got worse, it turned into not suicide attempts, but more so a release of the emotion through physical pain. It just kind of replaced it for a period of time, and I used broken glass and razor blades and stuff like that. And I'm obviously not gonna show it, but all up and down this arm, because I'm left-handed. It's just scarred up from my shoulder down to my wrist, and I'm not proud of it, but at the same time, I'm not ashamed because it's a chapter in my life, and I look at it, it reminds me of what I've been through. So, what's next? Well, from then until, I'd say last year, yeah, from then until last year, it was just depression. But at that point, it was like an artistic muse. A lot of my writing came from my depression, the poetry, the stories, the I also had a lot of anger too, a lot of anger, rage. I mean, I never really did anything destructive, unless it was on myself. The only time I remember is breaking down. It's stupid, really. My dad wanted me to get off the computer, and I was in the middle of trying to get this girl back because I think I broke up with her, and then I was trying to get her back, and she wouldn't accept it. Accept me back. So my dad kept yelling at me, and I don't know. I just broke down. I slammed my fists on the keyboard, and I stood up. I kicked a wooden tray table into the bookcase as hard as I could. And then I proceeded to walk over, and this is a very small room. I walked over to the filing cabinet and just started beating my fist into the drawers or whatever, the kind of top corner thing. Anyway, and dented that, and then my dad put me in a headlock. I lost it. I nearly blacked out. I don't know where it came from. But anyway, yeah, a lot of depression, and it was an artistic muse. But within this past year, maybe 2 or 3 years, it's kind of become burdening. I don't have any ideas for stories. Well, maybe some ideas here and there, but I have no drive, no motivation. I think all my writing sucks, and I don't think I'll get anywhere with it. And so it's been like that for quite a while, and it's hard because that's what I want to make a living at, and it's my biggest passion. Yet these emotional issues and mental issues are keeping me from the thing I love the most, other than my wife, of course. But I'm talking about non-people love. So yeah, well, let's see. Then we get to speed it up to about last year. It was a day after Christmas, and this is when I was actually an alcoholic, but, well, I still am, but when I was still drinking, there was a period of, probably about a year. Everything's a year, I don't know. Maybe that's just maybe it's a faulty memory. But I was drinking a lot every day, and every night I was getting drunk, at home by myself. And December 26th, the day after Christmas, obviously, my sister had something going on for the next day, and she asked if I was going to be there. This stuff I don't remember. I was drunk. I guess I kind of lowered my head and shook my head, and then I was talking about the feelings I have and stuff. So, she knows what I'm going through, and she said there's no silver bullet cure, and I said yes there is, which made her wonder. But she didn't. She didn't really. It made her wonder, but she didn't really connect it to anything. Not because she couldn't, but I'm assuming she wouldn't have expected me to do anything like that to myself. So, but that night I brought more beer with me. My wife and I went back home, and she was in bed, and I ended up grabbing all of my medication and walking outside and taking all of it with the alcohol, and it ended up being over 300 pills, roughly. Because it was everything I had. 91 Ativan is what I remember the most. There's 23 Prozac, 25... let's see, I don't even remember all the medicine I was taking. Anyway, but at some point, I was walking around and I felt the effects, and at some point I went in the house, I guess. I was gone at this point, and I took a full bottle of medicine in front of my wife. The only thing I remember is hearing her voice saying, Levi, did you just take this whole bottle of medicine, and I didn't respond. Levi! And then I remember screaming for Dad, telling her I swallowed a whole bottle of medicine and need to go to the hospital. So, and that was then began a really rough period, in and out of psych wards, so to speak, in hospitals, not so much like just a building for not what you expect. I mean, not one of these big buildings where they're caged and fenced in and all this stuff. And yeah, I mean, the things I did were, well, there's just twice I overdosed on medicine, and one time I tried to asphyxiate myself, and luckily I haven't done anything since then. I think it's because they have me on so much medicine. A lot of lithium. That's the big one. So, yeah, and I've just been. Oh no, I was doing a lot better. Around last June and whatnot. Then my brother-in-law was having a graduation party, and they had a slip-in slide. It was kind of a makeshift slip-in slide. Well, I decided to face my fears of doing anything in front of people, and decided to go. Well, I went down once, no problem. And the second time, a dog decided to walk onto the the slip-and slide, and instinctively I tried to stop. Of course, the grass was wet, so feet slipped out from underneath me, and bam, on the back of my head, and I was knocked unconscious for about 30 seconds from what they said. So, and I also got some whiplash from that. But since then, I feel like I'm at square one, because I was doing a lot better, like I said. Now, extremely irritable much of the time. I get angry very quickly, frustrated very quickly. My depression is back full force, and it didn't really do anything with the mania. It's about where it was before. So, yep, and that's what I'm working at now. I was gonna try and get disability temporarily while I get this stuff fixed, because I did have a full-time job, but I was a machine operator, and I loved the job, and it was great, and I was doing fine. They had me on 2 machines for a while, which was just troubling, but at the same time, I feel like they felt I was capable. Well, one day, both machines ended up burning up for one reason or another, and because of that, I began to panic. I had a panic attack, and I tried going back. They understood. I talked to them. They understood about my issues, because let's see, I don't know. I think it was the president of the company. He had suffered from panic attacks, as did the foreman. So they understood when I wasn't there much at all, and the days that I did try and come back, I'd walk in the doors and have a panic attack, and unfortunately I had to leave that job because of it. So anyway, I was in the process of getting that thing I said earlier, temporarily, and but then it became a hassle. I don't know, there's problems with the law firm that we went with, and this place wouldn't fill this out, and the law firm wouldn't do it unless they have that paperwork filled out and all this stuff. So and I was going to have a hearing, but it was too much trouble. So I'm actually going to try and get a part-time job here soon to try and get myself back in the workforce, because I'm tired of sitting around here doing nothing. I feel useless, It doesn't help with my depression, certainly. So anyway, this is almost 15 minutes long. I apologize. I hope it was interesting enough. I'll try and think of creative ways to make this more, well, I want to express myself exactly how I feel, and my thoughts, all of them, as much as I can. Some I might not. I keep some of my thoughts inside my head, because I think that's sometimes the best thing to do. But I want this to be very, very genuine. That's the whole point of this. Very genuine. Maybe I'll just play music lightly in the background, so there's something you can listen to if I'm getting too boring or rambling. So, alright, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And anyone who may have questions for me, I tend not to look at the camera. Anyone who may have questions for me, go ahead and ask, especially or if anyone's feeling suicidal, go ahead and message me. I'll help you the best that I can. I know how difficult it is, and words don't necessarily always help, but I'd like to try, because I don't want to see anyone commit suicide. It really is a terrible thing to do, especially to people that you love. So yeah, message me with questions if you have any, and or tell me your story, whatever you want to do. I'm open to talking about anything, really. Whatever can help people, or well, like I said, this is mainly to help each other. Okay. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.